right, that's a little too close and personal. Y'all don't need to see up my nose. There we go. Okay. Well, then let's get this party started, shall we? Thank you guys for your patience. Technology is always fun, especially when it works. It's always interesting when it doesn't. So, what are we doing today? We are doing, hold on, let me pull up my notes. I have notes. Revenue plan, document 1, document 2. We are cooking up success today. Cooking up success. And we are talking about the rookie mistake of people pleasing. And I can speak on this from personal experience. If this sounds familiar to y'all, people pleasing, please drop a note in the chat while I'm introducing myself. Do you fall prey to people pleasing? So my name is Michelle Lynn, and I am the owner of NL Interiors Group, which is an award-winning interior design firm in Dallas, Texas. I have been featured in Forbes, Southern Living, Modern Luxury, Martha Stewart, Home and Gardens, and some other publications. But the reason why I'm here is that I am a trusted advisor to small business owners in interior design specifically. I serve designers who have achieved 5 figures in revenue and want to scale to multiple 6 figures with profit and passion. So thank you guys for being here. Stephanie says she is a people pleaser all the time. Hallie is an expert. And I'm just going to say that you guys are just being shy because I know some of you. So it's good to see some familiar faces. And people pleasing can sometimes be a trap that we fall into. Before we get started, I want to say that I am hosting a 3-day marketing masterclass that starts on Monday. If you are not registered, Hallie's going to pop the link into the chat. And what I'm going to do for our 3-day marketing masterclass is I'm going to teach you my layered cake method. Okay, this is how to set up an effective and simple marketing system for your interior design business. So, you know, we got a couple minutes today. Tell me in the chat how your January is going. Does this month feel like it is just like we're on the 72nd day of January, or it's just like a huge Monday? I honestly am kind of easing into the year. I'm calling it gentle January. I'm not really taking a like balls out approach to the month, which oftentimes I do. Hina says it's flying by. That's awesome. Holly's is hectic. Yeah, it's January 87th is Hallie. That's how I feel. Normally I am talking to you guys about my word of the year and setting goals and like going out and kicking ass and taking names. But this year I am just, like I said, easing into the year. I think that when the spring comes around, I'll be ready to kick it. But for now, I'm doing a fun series over on Instagram. It's called Rookie Mistakes, and it has been a lot of fun. So we're diving deeper on some points over the next few weeks here in our private group. And then I'm thinking about turning it into a podcast series soon and just really, really diving into this because these are all things that I've experienced. These are things that I see in our industry a lot. In fact, so 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the rookie mistake I was talking about was inconsistent marketing. There's just a whole lot that if you don't know what you don't know, then we make rookie mistakes. It is what it is, right? So as a designer running a business, people pleasing, it doesn't necessarily, it's kind of a problem. So saying yes to anybody who calls is people pleasing. Working weekends, evenings to accommodate your client's schedule instead of your own schedule, people pleasing. Letting the client dictate the budget, which is usually too low, people pleasing. Negotiating your rates, people pleasing. So there's a whole lot that goes into running a business, and people pleasing is not one of them. So it takes practice to break this habit. But I want to tell you in advance that you must do it. instead of you learning the hard way and falling on your butt or losing money or hating your job, any of this, it can be a direct result of people pleasing. So I understand who I'm talking to, and who's here today. Rate yourself in the comments from 1 to 10, with 1 being I'm not a people pleaser, to 10 being like I'm a major people pleaser. I know it's an issue. Like 1 to 10, write it down. And y'all, this is a judgment-free zone. So do not look at each other side-eyed. I'm not looking at you side-eyed. We're just here to have this conversation and keep it real. So good, thank you. 8, 7, 7, good. Keep it coming along. And do you guys think that the people-pleasing tendencies that you have or we have or whatever, does it have a negative impact on your business? So I'm going to start with kind of the answer. Good. Thank you guys. Keep that coming along. Used to be a major people pleaser in life in general with business. Still trying to manage and work on this, probably a 7. Good. Thanks, babe. I appreciate all of y'all commenting. 6, but huge improvements from a month ago. Holly's a 4. Haley's a 6. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Yes, it does. Hey, Haley. Good to see you. Haley was interior design business bakery. She was a baker with us, and I might see some others of you guys on screen, but I'm trying to keep track and read my notes. Okay, so let's start backwards. I want to tell you the solution to your boundaries. I mean, the solution to people pleasing is setting boundaries with your clients. Now, I do want to say that this is easier said than done. Okay. But it's very possible, and I'm a testament to the fact that it can be done, because I used to get walked all over, like I was the area rug in interior design. Okay. People oftentimes, like I didn't have the confidence to set the boundaries. I didn't know how to communicate the boundaries. And then when the boundaries were crossed, I didn't know how to hold them, like hold the client accountable. I was afraid to do that. So I'm hoping that some of this sounds familiar to you guys. You don't have the confidence to set your boundaries. Maybe you don't even know what boundaries to set. There's that one too. How to communicate them to the clients and what to do when the client crosses those boundaries. The first thing to do is to truly set boundaries that work for you. What kind of business do you want? I mean, we all have a different life. Do you want to work evenings and weekends? Now, if you're in a full-time job right now, you might have to work evenings and weekends. I did when I first started my business. Now I don't. I don't even reply to a text after 5 or 4. Sometimes I just don't even reply. But what type of projects do you want to take on? These are things to be thinking about. You should be writing these down. Hopefully you guys have a pencil and a paper and you're writing these things down, because these are things to truly dig into and think about, especially as you're going into this new year. You're setting new expectations for yourself. My firm at ML Interiors Group, we take renovations and decoration. So we do both. Maybe you don't want to do renovations. You know, sometimes I don't want to. They're a pain in the booty. Maybe you just want to decorate, okay? Or projects, maybe you have a minimum size, minimum design fee. I don't take projects for less than $10,000 design fee. It wasn't always that way. Okay, what types of clients do you want to work with? If somebody sets off a red flag, are you still onboarding them, or are you walking away? The more clear you are about the kind of business that you're building, the more confident you're going to be setting to these boundaries, or the more comfortable you're going to be setting these boundaries. And then it's going to be easier to stick to them. So take these questions that I'm asking you and answer them for yourself. So once you have those boundaries set, it's important that you communicate it to your clients, or even your prospective clients, because, you know, that whole mind reading thing, It doesn't work in marriage. It doesn't work in business either. So it's not like you're going to be saying, hey, and you know, you have this scroll saying, these are my rules. But what you're going to do instead is you're going to start just throwing these boundaries out in the form of conversation, pretty much on the very first interaction. Okay. So you can start bringing you can start bringing these boundaries, these rules, these parameters, these guidelines into conversations. So when you're taking a call and they're asking, hey, you know, blah, 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 and you're talking, yeah, my next step is an initial visit. They're like, hey, can we do that on Saturday? Well, this is where you can say, you know, I would love to see you on Saturday. However, I don't work on weekends or evenings. You're just stating a fact. So in that respect, you're going to lead your sales conversations confidently and educate them on your process. For those of you who have been in my Rolling in the Dough workshop, that is something that we walk through. It's how to qualify, quote, and close badass clients. But your conversations should basically be talking about what kind of projects you're going to take on. This is what I do, and this is how I do it. Oftentimes our clients want things done yesterday. They don't have realistic expectations because they are watching HGTV and they think that their home can be done in between commercials. Okay, but when you're talking to them and you're pre-qualifying them, and if you guys have been in that workshop or if you've been in the bakery, remember the qualifying questions are, what is your timeline and what is your budget? Well, you don't want to bend to their timeline. If they say that I want to have my kitchen renovated, what is this? This is January and they want their kitchen renovated and they want to host a party for Mother's Day, then you don't have to bend over backwards to try to make that happen. Instead, you're going to educate them on the fact that it's not feasible to have a kitchen designed, renovated, and finished by Mother's Day. And here's why. The same thing with their budget. Maybe they want to renovate that kitchen. Okay, well, they can wait until Labor Day to have it done. Okay, but they only want to do it with $50,000. Well, then it's not up to you to go find out how you squeeze a luxury kitchen into $50,000 budget, because that 50,000 should include your design fee as well. So it's not up to you to create miracles. It is up to you to set your boundaries, explain and educate to your client what they are and why some things are not realistic, and then move on from there. And then have all of this stuff, like all of your boundaries, like it should all be in your contract. So for example, what are your change order fees? Or what is your change order process? What do you do if somebody's trying to shop you? What do you do if somebody can't make a decision? So all of these boundaries, all of these people-pleasing tendencies need to be explained in conversation. One, it's going to, well, I'm having a hard time talking. One, it is going to educate the client or the prospect on how you do business and whether or not they're willing to comply. Two, it's going to deeply root these rules into your being so that you will eventually be very confident after you've said it multiple times to hold those boundaries. So you set them and then you hold them. You put these in the contract and you can always refer back to the contract when you have to stick to the boundaries. So what's going to happen is the prospect or the client you're going to earn their respect right from the start, because you're telling them this is how I work and this is also why it's important to them. And it does help you sign more projects. So then if they are questioning anything, you can always refer back to your contract. Oh, I would love to, I don't know, bend whatever rule, but in the contract it says blah, 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 blah. And I have found that it's really important that we stick to what we've both agreed to. Okay, easy way to say it. But other things that you can do proactively to try to keep them on point and keep them moving forward is weekly emails with updates. This is what we've done. This is what we're doing next. Now, this is all what I teach in my paid programs. So if you guys are looking for some assistance, don't hesitate to reach out to me and see what sort of programs might work best for you. But also, like, don't answer texts or emails outside of your business hours. And explain that to the client. I think we explain that to them in some of our onboarding, is that, hey, you're always welcome to text or email me at any time of day, but just know that we will be getting back to you, within business hours. And on our emails, we even say, I think we have a disclaimer on the bottom that says we'll get back in touch with you within like 48 business hours or something like that. Or our response or something like that. So in that respect, honor your boundaries. Even if you're checking your email and you're sitting on the couch watching television with your family and somebody says something, first of all, I suggest you don't check your emails outside of off hours, because then it's going to take you away from your family if there is an issue. But if you do, then just go ahead and mark it as unread and get back to it in the morning. Okay, same thing with text. I think you can now mark them as unread, and you can also pin them to the top if you're on an Apple iPhone. I don't know what Androids do, but I think you can do that with everybody now. So dealing with any issues at the time that they happen, like if you're getting that text at 7 at night, if you need to, in order to wean yourself off of the people pleasing, and saying, I saw your email, I will get back in touch with you tomorrow morning, so that you can acknowledge it and then you can move it on. Okay, but also, if you do have issues coming up, deal with them right away. Don't let it snowball. And I'm actually saying that kind of from experience, because I've kind of let my mail snowball. Okay, so it's the same thing with clients. I've got this pile here and I'm just really dreading digging into it. Such a pain in the booty sometimes. So anyway, the tricky part as a newer business owner is that we want to get all of the revenue that we can, and we want to get that in the door, right? So you're afraid to say no, or you're afraid to rock the boat when somebody calls or emails you an inquiry or whatever that looks like. But it's a fine line. You have to trust your gut to make the right decision. More often than not, and tell me here in the chat, have you ever taken on a client that you knew you shouldn't have? Okay, have you ever taken on a client that you knew you shouldn't have? I have. And they were some very uncomfortable, awkward, inconvenient, and just really crappy experiences. Angie's dealing with it, Holly's done it. So trust your gut, because if you get a couple of these clients in a row, y'all, it's going to mess with your passion for the job. It's going to mess with your energy levels. You're going to be different at home, like all of this. So as I had mentioned, we do teach how to qualify, quote, and close amazing clients in my Rolling in the Dough workshop. I'm not doing that one again until April, but it is a free bonus. So that particular workshop is a free bonus with my secret ingredient kit. Okay, so this has my full slide deck for my meet and greet, along with some videos of me conducting a couple of them. And it really does help you to navigate and to set some of these boundaries, these people-pleasing boundaries, within this little mini course. So it's just called the Secret Ingredient Kit. If you guys are interested, Hallie can drop the link in there. And it's 27 bucks, 28 bucks, something like that. So it's super easy. It's quick, you'll own it forever. Little bite-sized nuggets, and you can go from there. So God forbid to get a bunch of clients in the row, right? Is it Siva? Sevia? Sorry, babe, I'm probably not pronouncing your name right, but God forbid to get a bunch of these clients in a row. I've had it, and it just, I mean, if that's what causes ulcers, you know, it's there. So, y'all, I can barely speak today. I'm a little out of practice. What I want to make sure that you guys all take action on some of the information that we just talked about. What stood out to you that you need to work on? Drop that in the chat real fast, please. What do you need to work on? One of the things that I needed to work on before, not everybody answer at once, okay? One of the things that I needed to work on was my consistency. So I had to write out a lot of my boundaries, even not even giving out my cell phone number for quite a while. I didn't give out my cell phone number until we got to a certain point in the project. So setting boundaries during the client interactions, time for emails, texts, scope creep, yes. After receiving payment and doing a consultation and saying, I don't think it's a good fit. Uh-huh. I get that. I totally get that. So, Alethea and Sevia. Girls, I am so sorry. I am just not, I'm butchering your names. I think those Alethea. Alethea. Thank you, babe. I appreciate that. Biggest issue, boundaries, is when it comes to family asking for services. Oh, Hina, girl, I get it. Could you let me know what you recommend for that? Because not giving out a phone number isn't even an option. So Hina, and for all of y'all, if you have family or friends that want to work with you, you have to put them through all of your processes. You have to give them the meet and greet. You have to do the initial visit as if it was a business. And quite frankly, unless you are at a point where you have to have the business, I don't recommend working with friends or family. They're the worst. I was just, my best girlfriend finally apologized to me for being a bitch when we were working together. We had one of Debbie's friends who went and reversed the payment on their card because they didn't feel like what we gave them was what they, because her expectations were completely out of line. She wanted the design presentation to be when we were giving her the contract. It was a nightmare. And so I cannot begin to tell you, Hina and everybody else, if you cannot if you cannot work with your friends and family, don't do it. Okay. Not having answers or information when scheduled, resulting in a lost day of work and being on schedule due to this. Okay, good. Pretty close on my name. It's like Sylvia without the L. Thank you. Sylvia. Okay, good. Not following your gut instinct. Ditto that friends are the worst. Biggest issue saying that I'll have something done way sooner than I'm capable than pulling multiple all-nighters. Oh, dear Lord, I've done that multiple times too. Okay, good. Good. So for some of this, y'all, go back, take a look, and yes, I'm here to sell things, okay? Absolutely. You guys know that. We're all in business, right? But go take a look at the secret ingredient kit, because I really think that that's going to set a lot of you guys up for the for putting in some of the boundaries on the very front end with your clients. So, and then of course, if you guys think that this free content is good, my $27 content is good, or whatever, just know that I have some year-long programs, some signature courses that will take you from 5 figures in revenue up to multiple 6 without trading your time for money while still maintaining your profit and your passion, teaching you some of these boundaries, a lot of the boundaries. We've got a great community. So I can't begin to tell you enough. Explore hiring a coach. If it's not me, then look into other coaches. There's nothing better for moving your business years into the future. And we have the Interior Design Business Bakery, which is my signature program. The key ingredients, very similar to the bakery. It's like the bakery on a diet. There's a 6-month program. In fact, I have to jump off this call really quickly because I'm about to hop into the Sugar and Spice Society and teach on 10-point outline for planning your 2025 revenue as an interior designer. It's a program helping generate some revenue so you can invest in the next level of coaching. So we've got a whole bunch of ways to get involved. Also, I've got a podcast, also by the name of Design for the Creative Mind. So yes, thank you, Hallie. If you guys have any questions about how you can get into my little world and really launch your interior design business into the future, I would love to have you. Hallie is my right hand. She can answer all sorts of questions. You can even hop on a call with me if you're interested in joining the bakery or their key ingredients or anything like that. So thank you for your patience with my technology. Thank you for your patience with my tongue. It's all tied today. And I will see you guys next. Hallie, are we here next week? No, we're not here next week because we have our 3-day marketing masterclass. So join me over there as well. And I will see you Monday the 3rd. Click on these because we're about to log out and log back in to the Sugar and Spice Society. See you guys soon. Thanks for being here.